Live Golf is perhaps the most unapologetic sporting event. Not in a good way. It's clearly done for political motives. A lot of people are against it, and some of the players participating have been suspended from PGA tours. So it's a whole mountain of messed up things. And now it's back with fresh targets and controversies. In this video, we'll be talking about how this infamous tournament tried to buy in Tiger Woods, but failed. First up, why do we hate Live Golf? Live isn't just some edgy way to write live, but the name actually has some sort of meaning behind it. You remember in middle school mathematics class, we learned Roman numerals. Well, that lesson really stuck with the creators of Live Golf. Live, as you might have guessed by now, is actually a Roman numeral, and it stands for 54, which is also the number of holes played in each event. Very original, isn't it? The Live tournament is backed by Live Golf Investments, whose CEO is Greg Norman. Yup, it's the same person who formerly used to be the world's #1 in golf. He's an Australian golfer who has won 20 PGA events. Now, up till this point, all this seems pretty legit, but let's go into some background. There you're going to see things get shady. Live Golf Investments has many shareholders, but one of the top shareholders is a public investment fund. This is where things begin to get dicey. The public investment fund is heavily linked to the Saudi government. Its present chair just so happens to be the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. It's because of these ties that Live Golf and the PIF have been consistently accused of sports washing. The Crown Prince has a huge say in the decision-making process of Saudi, and he's also been accused of killing Jamal Khashoggi, a journalist who was highly critical of his government. Saudi has widely been criticized for its extreme human rights violations, and due to this, the government's ties with PIF and Live Golf have also been protested against. But Norman claims that the Al Saud government has no influence on the Live project. In fact, he has come out on several occasions saying that he's not answerable to Mohammed bin Salman and that Live Investments was completely independent of him. Okay, but such harsh language and his rigid stance make us think that he's definitely being supported by MBS. And another shady thing is that when asked about the human rights violations in Saudi, Norman said that people were ignoring the good things the country is doing to change its culture. Now, with Live Golf, it's assumed that the country is trying to improve its tarnished global reputation through these tournaments using golf, as they've been the hub of several human rights violations, which, dear viewers, is the textbook definition of sports washing. And to attain this goal, the execs are trying to get all the big names on board. In the present year, this venture aims to host about 8 tournaments, more than half of which will be taking place here in America. As for the next year, they plan on having 14 events, hoping to have extended their players list, along with increasing their reputation. So yeah, keep all this in mind as we move ahead with the story. Let's see what's up with Tiger Woods and Live Golf. Recently, it was all over the news and social media that Tiger Woods, a 15-time major winner, had been offered a huge sum of money to become part of the project. Greg Norman himself said in an interview that Woods had been offered about $700 million to $800 million to participate in the Live Golf circuit. Norman believes that Woods is one of the best players out there, which goes very well with his motive for going after the best. He was even considered to be the best golfer of his time. He has made 2 comebacks and has blown his fans away each time. Working with the Live tournament might actually be a highly lucrative opportunity for the golfer. But as it turns out, Tiger Woods isn't completely sold by the concept. In fact, he's one of the players who are most critical of the undertaking. He even went as far as stating in an interview that the players who have participated in it have only turned their back on what has allowed them to get into this position. Woods completely disagrees with the concept and believes that it only appeals to the materialistic side of the players by offering them big paychecks. And he's completely right. Playing for the money takes all the sincerity and passion from the game. And as a reaction, PGA Tours has suspended almost a dozen players for participating in this venture. Now, we can always attribute this harsh reaction to the fact that Live is hurting the PGA supremacy, but it also makes sense if we think of this as a disloyal action by the players, because they did join Live Golf for more money. Moving on, Live Golf is also known for taking on board some really shady people. Yep, that's right. The most recent golfing event for the tournament took place at former US President President Donald Trump's golf course in Bedminster, New Jersey. Trump, Norman, and the whole LIV gang were thoroughly criticized by the families of 9/11 victims for the false assessment and justifications of Saudi's role in the incident. And you won't believe what our former president said about the 9/11 victims, along with the murder of Khashoggi. He said that he was unaware of the stance that the 9/11 families took regarding LIV Golf. And coming to the journalist, he said that this incident had totally died down. That's very insensitive, don't you think? On top of all of this, such news came after the Saudi government acknowledged that the murder was indeed carried out by government officials, even though they had initially declined any involvement at all. All of this seems very shady to us, and honestly, players should run as far away from this as they can. So there you have it in a nutshell, what exactly Greg Norman is fronting, and why everyone should be wary of this new venture. Now, let's catch you up with some other news from the world of golf. Be warned, all of it is going to be about the LIV fiasco. It seems like the LIV golf tournament is all that everyone can talk about nowadays. And now we have Caitlyn Jenner giving her 2 cents on LIV Golf. The retired Olympic gold medalist has given her verdict in support of the Saudi-backed golf venture. She also went on to say that she commends the capitalistic mindset behind the game. She thinks that it will help the players enjoy themselves more, which would in turn amount to better competition. And in a very odd way, it sort of makes sense, because only through such fierce competition will PGA Tours come up with ways they can actually appeal to their players and make them stay. Jenner also pointed out the hypocrisy of those who were criticizing the tournament, stating they were in fact the ones who put so much money in the pockets of Saudi Arabia by buying their oil and investing in their fund. Well, although this might be harsh, she speaks the truth. Next up, we have Daly being kept away from LIV Golf because of his age. John Daly, who some of you might remember as a 2-time major winner, wants to get a piece of this highly lucrative opportunity that has taken over the world of golf, but it seems like he won't be taking part in it anytime soon. In a recent interview, Daly revealed that he had actually begged Norman to give him a place in the Upstart Tour. According to him, he deserves the box of chocolate for his efforts. The chocolate obviously has pockets filled with money, but according to the CEO of LIV, Daly is too old to compete. The former apparently wants only the best to be a part of their lineup. Anything less just won't do. We're sure this news must have been very hard for Daly. Lastly, Mickelson got suspended for luring players into LIV. Now, of course, he wasn't bribing them with candies, but we suppose some green must have been used. The golf drama is moving on towards litigation and lawsuits, and honestly, it's just getting more and more complicated. With the sport divided between the two parties, it's getting hard to keep up. Here's what we know. Mickelson, along with some other players, had actually sued PGA for unlawfully suspending players who were a part of LIV. The players filed the suit, hoping to get the suspension overturned. The legal proceedings have revealed that Mickelson, who can be described as a ringleader in the LIV movement, was trying to sway players toward the Saudi-backed project. This landed him a suspension for 2 months in March. His suspension was later extended till March 2023, and PGA Tour has denied his requests for reinstatements. The drama sure is escalating. That's a wrap for this video, guys. What do you think about the LIV Golf Tournament? Do you think it should be fiercely protested against, or maybe we should let it slide? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos like this.